I'm going to go over some of the problems from Friday's assignment. Some of you did very well, some of you struggled. So I'm going to go over some of the ones that people were struggling on. So in this story, we're talking about standard and deluxe playhouses. And we're talking about 12 hours for the standards and 20 hours for the deluxe, and limited to 800 per week. So in that, for that right there, we have 12x plus, and I'm letting my standards be x's and my deluxes be y, and 20y has to be less than 800. Okay, now we're talking about items per week, and it has to be 50 items per week. Well, we're producing total production capacity. So I'm doing standard and playhouses, and the total production is less than or equal to 50. And then we are talking about, we can't have 0 of one and 50 of the other, because it tells us that we have to do at least 10 standards and at least 15 deluxe. So then you have x has to be greater than or equal to 10, and y has to be greater than or equal to 15. If it didn't tell us at least, it would be just these two equations, but it's telling us that in our production we have to do some standards and we have to do some deluxes. Okay, the next one, we're talking about some items, and they are hand knitted scarves and sweaters. And so I'm going to let that be x and that be y. Scarves are 2 hours, and sweaters are 14, limited to 40. So 2x plus 14y has to be less than 40 hours. Then we are talking about total capacity is 5 items per week. That means x plus y has to be less than or equal to 5. Here it doesn't give a constraint, so it could be 0 and 1, 1 and 0 and 5, x and y, 1 and 4, 2 and 3, 3 and 2, 4 and 1, 5 and 0. So all of these would be okay. The next ones I want to go over are given a graph and getting the equations. So first of all, I know this confused some people, but this is your x and y axis. Okay, so we have, I always start with horizontals and verticals. So this is a vertical. So that's x, and it's at 1, 2, 3. And it is solid, so there's an underline. And it is on this side, and all these numbers are less than or equal to 3. Okay, then we have this equation, and we have a intercept of 2. We have a slope of 1/2. Then we are going to put 0, 0 into that equation, and 0, 0 has to be true. So 0 is less than 1/2 times 0 plus 2. 0 is less than 2, that's true, and I picked less than. That was also a solid line. Then I have this line, and that has a negative slope. So I have a y-intercept of -1, and then I have 1 down, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was kind of confusing, so I gave thirds and fourths. I didn't mind that. 1/4 x, that's a negative slope, y. And I want 0 to be true, so I'm going to come over here, this one to here, and I'm going to go 0 is greater than 1/4 times 0 minus 1. I can kind of look at them because I can pretend that that's going to go away with the 0. And 0 is greater than -1, which is true because I wanted 0, 0 to be true. And I got 0, 0 to be true. And so this is greater than, and it's a solid line, and equal. And that's how you get this bounded. Okay, next one. Here's your axis. There is a vertical line here. So that vertical line is x for vertical line. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's on this side, so it's less than. It doesn't have any underlines because it was dashed. Then I have this line, and it says x. And I want to go on this side, which is greater than -2. And it is also dashed. And then I have this blue line with a positive slope and a y-intercept of 2 and a slope of 1/3. And I have y. And I want 0, 0 to be true. And 0 is less than 1/3 times 0 plus 2. 0 is less than 2. And that, so I wanted it to be true. I got it to be true. And that is a solid line, so it needs to be underlined. And then I have this line, which has a negative slope. It has a y-intercept at -3. It's got a slope of -1/3 x. I want 0, 0 to be true. So 0 is greater than -1/3 times 0 minus 3. 0 is greater than -3, which is true. So this is greater, and it's solid, and it's underlined.